of art. The traditional function of visual arts is to depict oneself and our surrounding environment. The earliest discoveries include paintings of humans and wild animals on the deep walls of prehistoric caves. A specific image is the handprint on the wall, a universal symbol of human communication. Portraits, landscapes, and still lifes are common examples of depicting environmental objects. A portrait requires accuracy in capturing the physical characteristics of a person, but ideally, it also portrays the person's unique personality. For thousands of years, this role has been reserved for the images of those with power and influence. These portraits not only indicate who they are but also represent their class status within the social structure through their features. In this image, one can observe how the bust of the Egyptian Queen Nefertiti, circa 1300 BC, employs beautiful and noble features to embody her royal status. The full-body portrait of Emperor Xianfeng uses the patterns and colors of his dragon robe, and the throne behind him to show that he is not an ordinary person, but an emperor.
Another familiar modern example is the iconic photograph of British wartime Prime Minister Winston Churchill. During the most intense period of World War II, Yusuf Karsh captured Churchill's portrait, which powerfully demonstrated the British leader's unyielding determination and courage in the face of crisis.
Yesterday morning at 2:41 a.m. at General Eisenhower's headquarters, General Jodl, the representative of the German High Command, and of Grand Admiral Dönitz, the designated head of the German state, signed the Act of Unconditional Surrender.
In 1941, Churchill visited Canada, and at that time, Karsh was still a young photographer who felt both excited and nervous about being commissioned to photograph a historical figure. To prepare, he set up hundreds of pounds of photographic equipment in the reception room of the Canadian Parliament building, where guests were received after speeches. He carefully arranged the positions and angles, waiting for the moment Churchill would finish his speech in the House of Commons and step into the reception room. Finally, after his spirited speech and 3 minutes of standing ovation from the audience, Churchill entered the reception room. A glass of brandy and a Havana cigar had already been prepared for him. Churchill soon noticed a small, young photographer and a large amount of equipment just 3 feet away.
"What is this?"
Churchill asked. Karsh suddenly realized that no one had told Churchill about the photo shoot. "Prime Minister, I hope to have the opportunity to capture this historic moment with photography."
"You only have one chance."
Churchill grudgingly consented. "One photo, one chance." Churchill handed his glass to an assistant and began to sit down to prepare for the photo, but the cigar was still smoldering between his lips. Karsh was perplexed. The smoke from the cigar would surely obscure the image. He returned to the camera, ready to take the shot, but in the instant before triggering the shutter, he quickly snatched the cigar from Churchill's lips. He looked as if he was confronting an enemy, almost wishing he could devour me. Karsh would never forget that moment. This was the famous photo of Churchill, staring down his enemies with a resolute and unyielding gaze. In the next episode, we will explore another principal role of art, landscape. Don't miss it.